Alright, so welcome to a video that's not on my desk because this is too big to fit on my desk. This is a donation and complete with charger. I'm told it stopped dead. Probably because the batteries are dead. This has lead acid batteries. It's a few years old and it was free. I might be getting a couple of free, almost good batteries that'll fit this later. At the very least, I want to sell the batteries out of this for lead. So we're going to take this out the back and see what we can do with it. Okay, so I elected instead to do this out the front because we dump our old batteries out here before we go and sell them. So I've got to figure out how to get into this. I know the batteries are replaceable. You can buy replaceable batteries, which I think are standard AGM batteries. But I'm going to have a look, and this thing is heavy. Taking a bit of a look, I note that there are these screws here, and this front section appears to be sort of 1/2 that might come away if we undo those screws. And it does separate along here too, so maybe that will take it off, or we take the handles off on the top, which I'm not keen to do that. I think that might be quite structural, so might see if we can get an access panel off that way. They went on very tight. Probably like 130 amp hour or something. Oh, will this front move away at all? Don't know. Guess we'll keep on doing screws till something comes out. Now, obviously, I could have done the smart thing, done a little bit of homework, see if anybody else has opened these things up before. But it's I'm having a lazy day today. Right, so that is, these don't seem to want to pull apart. There are some screws on the back. There's a big heatsink on the back. The only other real accessible screws are these ones on the top. There might be some on the bottom, but I think we're going to have to open these top ones. Oh, that is going to slip. I need something better than that. Let's try again. It does come out. That's a decent sized bolt. Alright, I took the handles off, they were getting in the way. That's 4 of the bolts on the top off. That looks like that might let loose at some point. These will certainly come off. Okay, that'll come off. Give me a second. Ah, beautiful, no wires connected to the top. And yes, this big gigantic Anderson is directly connected to the battery. So let's get ourselves a multimeter. Kind of hard to film here, but we're going to select DC volts mode. Okay, clamp meter here. Might as well do the polarity properly. Neg on that, pause on that. We have 6.25 volts. So yeah, this battery's definitely not good. Let's like the meter where you can see it. So anything under about 10.5 is going to cause permanent damage. So 6.25 volts tells me this battery's been well neglected. So we're going to see if we can get it out of here, I guess. I'm surprised to find that the same screw that opens the top also fits the terminals, although these have been done with some Loctite or something. I'm going to need a proper Allen key or something to get these off. They've been done on properly. I'm noticing, now I've come back with an Allen key, that looks like acid marks coming out under the cover. Or it might be the edge of the label. No, I think it could be acid. Whoever's had this has probably tried to treat it like a lithium and has run it dead flat. You can't do that to lead acids. Alright. Problem now was without shorting something out, and there is an exposed terminal block there. I need to be able to get this loose. This is going to be interesting. Actually really pleasantly surprised to see that this whole module just lifts out of the front. That was not expected. Yeah, so lifting that front out means I get a wonky camera angle, but it also allowed me to get the Allen key in with the proper leverage and remove the battery terminal. It's our negative with our washer on the top we want to preserve. That's pretty well welded on there, that washer. Alright, we'll get the rest out. So the tie down bracket here I couldn't get loose, I couldn't get the Allen key in. Like maybe I need a cheater tube. So the cheater tube turned out to be one of the handles. That got things moving. Fortunately there's only one of these I've got to remove, and the camera's sitting on it, so we'll be back. Yeah, this battery's definitely not been well looked after. She's had some overheat events. So yeah, I think whoever had this is probably going to be better off with lithium batteries. That wiring loom is in the way. There we go. Pull that out of the way. Pull this up. There we go. Battery out. Wow, this thing was just a giant SLA battery. Wasn't even an AGM. Well, it's probably going to get an AGM to go back in that. And I will have a good one coming. I know exactly what I need to do with that. Okay, so this one's going to get relocated. That's about 40 kilos of battery, by the way. That's going to get relegated to the dead battery pile. This one's going to sit here for a few days till spare battery shows up. It's under cover here, it won't get wet. But it's good. In fact, I may have a deep cycle that I used to use on the 8-wheeler here to run that. I might be able to put that in here and then run the two new batteries I get, might run in parallel and sit in the back of this. We'll work it all out. Alright, for now the sun is setting. I'm hot and frustrated. I'm going to need the third shower of the day. I've been sweaty all day. So this is going to sit until battery shows up or until I figure out what to do. And then we'll be back with another video. All up though, the Yeti 1250, if that's what this is called, gets my thumbs up approval for being repairable. In a real world, you'd probably only need to take out these four and lift it up. Taking the sides out just gave me a bit of room for the Allen key. It's got a decent heatsink on it. But yeah, you just have to keep an eye on these things. If you leave them sitting too long, the batteries do eventually pass away.